Everyone's talking about the Cyberpunk TCG game right now. Just hit 13 million in funding on Kickstarter. A lot of people think it's going to be the next big TCG, and others think it's kind of overhyped. So instead of guessing, let's actually play through the game. If you've been following the channel, you know I've been kind of covering the game since it launched on Kickstarter. I'm a huge Cyberpunk fan, but I am still kind of skeptical and thinking about the game. So instead of being skeptical, I got a printout of the alpha decks for the game. Been talking with some people at the hospital, which I'm actually out on assignment right now. So I'm in this little rental unit recording because I could not wait. Played a few test games and been talking with a lot of people about the game. So there's a lot of stuff to go over here. So I kind of want to just go over the rules really quickly and then kind of just do a little shadow play, demo the game out. Also, I finally have a use for my wormwood dice. I kind of just picked these up because I really like kind of stone or gem dice, but I don't really play D&D, so this is kind of cool that they use this tabletop dice set for the game. But there's also some downsides to that, which we'll go over after this demo game. So let's go over the rules real quick. So the game starts with each player having 3 legend cards, your VIPs. So for the mercenary deck, for the alpha kit, you have Jackie Wells, Victor Vector, and V. So these cards start actually face down, and then they're random. So when you play against a player, you could hand each other your 3 cards, or you can just shuffle it yourself, whatever your store tells you to, and you put them face down. And in order to flip one of these cards, you have to pay 2 resources to flip any of your choice, and that's how you have it face up. So these cards have abilities. So let's look at Jackie Wells first. So Jackie Wells, his ability says, the first time you play a blue unit or blue gear each turn, you may increase a friendly gig by 2. Then if it's at max value, draw a card. So I think that's actually a pretty good ability, and it's passive. So there's no in bold text here that says you like have to do an activation or like a precursor requirement. For example, this one says flip. There's nothing here, so that's just a passive ability. So let's go to the next card, Victor Vector. His activation is flip. So when you flip the card, this will activate 1 time, and it says search the top 5 cards of your deck for up to 2 gear that cost 2 or less, reveal them and put them in your hand. Never bad having card activation. And then you place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. I think that's a pretty good, even though it's a one-time thing, I think that's still pretty good. And then this is the beatdown. I think each deck's gonna have some kind of card like this. So V, of the main character of the game, Cyberpunk 2077, her ability is go solo. So this is V, Corporate Exile, and its ability says go solo. No other abilities. This pretty much says when you activate them, and if you pay this card to activate itself, it enters untapped or readied. So you may play this card's cost to play it as a ready unit. It can attack this turn. So that's like activating it and giving it haste from Magic. So even when you activate it for 2, you still have to pay the 5 eddies or Eurodollar to attack. So yeah, that's pretty much it. These are pretty standard abilities. It's kind of like a mix, in my opinion, of like the Final Fantasy TCG, but a little easier because the cards that you will activate for mana or your resource can be anything. There's no color to it yet anyway. All right, so that's your VIP cards. We'll put those here. And then the actual cards in the deck, they're kind of basic too if you play Magic. So let's go over to this one first. So we have attack triggers. So this is Dying Knight. It's a weapon, so you can equip it to a face-up unit or legend. It's an attack trigger. If you have 7 or more street cred, defeat a rival gear card that's 2 or less. So this happens when you attack. Pretty straightforward. And the requirement is you attacking, And if you have 7 or more street cred, then this goes off. So this card's called a program. These are like the sorcery cards of this game. It's a one-time thing and it goes into your graveyard. This says return a spent unit with 4 or less to its owner's hand. So it's like a bounce effect, and then it goes to the graveyard. So it's like, and there are no instant speed or interrupts in this game. It's just you play it on your turn and it's done. I have some thoughts on that. We'll talk about that after. Now here's a thing. So in this game, there's no blocking in the sense from other games. Units can only block if they have the keyword blocker. And in order to block, this has to be untapped or readied. So this direction, and you have to spend it or tap in order to block an attacker. And then you calculate damage based on that, and then it either dies, lives, or stays. So dies, lives, or stays. It just lives or dies. And then this is another just passive ability, Jackie Wells, the unit. So this unit has +2 power for each of your friendly gigs. And that's it. It's just a passive ability that will just be there, and it will check itself to see if its requirements are met. And this is actually an ability for all units. It's for every 10 power a unit has, it can steal an extra gig. So at 10 power, this card will take 2 gigs or 2 points. So yeah, those are just the pretty much basic cards. Again, they're kind of like simple rules, but again, this is like the alpha deck. So I think they're just kind of experimenting. There are also some typos, like we'll go over colors real quick. So a deck building restriction on your deck. So your three legends here. We have 2 yellow, 2 blue, 2 blue. Because this is 2 blue each, that means you can have 4. So 4 ram. Ram is that number in the top right. So because there's 2 ram and 2 ram, that means you could have any card in your deck that's 4 ram total or less. Because Victor Vector is 2 yellow ram, you can only have 2 or less yellow ram in the deck. So here's a typo. Well, here's one. Right away, the first card. So here's an example. This actually is an illegal deck or card in the deck, but we'll use it anyways because it's what was provided. Jackie Wells has 3 ram. Victor Vector has 2. So this is 1 more than the ram we have here, which makes this card illegal. I'm assuming in the final deck, they'll either exclude this or change the ram cost. So yeah, so that's how you can do deck construction. So that you could be like a mono color, you could be mono blue and have all blue ram, or mono yellow, mono red. You can mix it all up. It just matters on what cards you can add to the deck based on that number, which I actually like. That's kind of cool. All right, let's go over the card anatomy real quick. So we just went over this on the top right. That is the ram cost there. That goes into putting the total ram of your deck if it's your legend, or if it's just a regular card in the deck, that is the max you can put in the deck, like we just said. So because we had 2 blue cards with 2 each, that's 4 total. We could have 4 up to 4 ram in the deck. Okay, and then we have this money sign. This sign means that we could sell this card for the resource called eddies, or Eurodollar in the game universe. So if I were to sell this card, you could do it once per turn. I would just put it face down here, and now I could sell it. Well, let's not use our legend. So let's look for an example. So this card, Jackie Wells, has no money sign on it, which means we cannot sell this for money. Dying Knight is an equipment which has the money sign, which means we could sell it. So when we sell it once per turn, we put it in the eddies pile face down, which means we can now spend it to pay for cards. Okay. All right, so back here, there's the subtype here for the card. You have your card name there. On the bottom right is the power of the card. This game is pretty simple when you go to attack, you can only attack the enemy player to steal one of their gigs or points, and we'll go over that in a second. Or if a card attacked already, it becomes spent or tapped, then you could also attack tapped cards or spent cards. So let's say Jackie Wells was tapped, you could attack Jackie Wells, or you could attack the player to take their gigs. All right, so what is a gig? A gig is pretty much how you win the game. A player wins on their turn, at the start of their turn. If they have 6 gigs total, they win the game. We're actually, I just realized we have, I think we have 1 extra dice, but it's fine. I'll leave them out because they look nice. So these actually don't start here. They'll start in your fixer part of the board. And let's just go over the board real quick. So this is where your legends go, where they'll be face down. This is where your eddies go, where the items you sold for money. Your deck would be here, face down. Your trash pile would be here. This is where you put your spent cards. Your fixer is here. So this is like the guy who's dishing out your missions. You can choose any dice, but your D20 has to be the last dice rolled. And then here will be where your completed gigs will go. What we've been doing is, so on the rolls, it says that your opponent's goes here and yours goes here. I just like lining them all up like this, and then your opponents can line theirs up there. It just looks more organized. But yeah, let's go over a game real quick, and just like a quick game against ourselves, and then we'll go over our thoughts on what we think about the rules. All right, so we're gonna start the game here. We're down to the correct number of dice, and right away you roll off to see who goes first. We'll pretend we rolled off and I won the roll, so I'll choose to go first. We each draw 6 cards. And yes, if you're wondering, these are Pokemon sleeves. This is when I open like 20 packs of Champions Path. And so what I'm trying to say is I have sleeves for days. So anyway, we drew 6 cards. And each player starts the game with all their VIP legends. They just sound cool being named VIP. Spent or tapped in this game. I'll be using a lot of magic lingo just because, I don't know, I'm just indoctrinated. So let's see here. This is our hand. So right here we have the money sign, which means we could sell our card for money. I really like this Floret card. It reminds me of a classic blue magic card of bouncing. Little tempo card to the hand. Giving power to creatures doesn't really help right now, early game. And these motorheads are pretty strong too. So anyway, so right away, turn 1, it goes ready phase, play phase, attack phase, and that's it. So turn 1 though, the first player can only ready 1 of their legend cards. So we'll ready 1. And at the start of the turn, you check to see if you have 6 gigs or 6 points. If you do, you win the game. But we don't, we just started the game, there's none. So you'll choose a gig and roll it. You usually want to roll one of your lowest dice because you don't want it to get stolen. You don't want to roll high and have it stolen right away. You want to save those high dice for when it matters. So we're going to roll. We got a 3. I'm going to put the 3 there. And I'm going to put my points across and the opponents this way. I just like how that looks better than what they suggest, which is one player's here, another player's there. Okay, so we are already readied 1 card. And then we also draw. In this game, you draw turn 1. And now we have 3 of these, which is, I'll still keep these 3 as long as I can. But our only other sellable card, looking for that symbol there, the Euro $sign, is Reboot Optics, which, like I said, we can't really use. So I'll do that. Sorry. The Eddies have their own section. So we will put our sold card there. And we'll look at our hand here. We have nothing we could play, but turn 1, you could always pay 2. And once per turn, you can activate one of your legend cards. We'll do this one. And the one we did was Victor Vector. So right away, when you flip him, search the top 5 cards of your deck for 2 gear that cost 2 or less each. Reveal them and put them in your hand. And then put the rest on the bottom in any order. So we will do that. Top 5. Ooh, I drew exactly 5. So we're looking for gear. I have a program, and I have a unit. So yeah, we did not find any gear, so I'll put these on the bottom, and that's it. We'll pass turn to our opponent. So our opponent does the same thing. They will check to see if they have any 6 gigs. They don't. They will ready all 3 of their cards. So we're actually kind of behind now because they're going to have the upper hand with more monies. So our opponent's hand, we'll take a peek here. We'll put all their sellable cards here on the right. So they actually have a pretty good hand. I think what we're gonna try to do for them is, man, sorry, that actually goes there. I think this card, it doesn't really do anything. So spend a rival card, that means like tap it. I have nothing, so I think it's better if they sell this. But anyway, so we'll complete our ready phase. So they have to choose a dice or a gig to roll. They rolled the D4, which is also low, obviously. It's a D4, so 2. They're gonna sell their corporate espionage card here. And man, I think the Emergency Atlas might be the better card to play. Just a big chunky boy. So they're gonna pay 3 and 1 for an Emergency Atlas. This is assuming they don't know what's in my hand. I think that is a pretty strong play to have that strong 7 power drop there. Okay, so we're gonna go to our turn. We're going to check to see if we have 6 gigs. We don't. We're gonna ready our cards. Now we get to ready all of them. And we're gonna roll for a gig. So we're gonna roll our next lowest here, or I think that's actually this guy. We got a 1, okay? So we have a 3 and a 1 so far. And we're gonna draw. We got T-Bug. So I think right now we're gonna sell one of these florets. And when you sell the card, you do put it face down like this. I think we're gonna pay 3. And we're gonna bounce this back to our opponent's hand. Do a little tempo. And programs like their sorceries and magic, they go straight to the trash. They're single use. So we got 2 eddies left. We have nothing to spend it in our hand, so we're just gonna spend 2 to reveal one of the cards, which is V here. But we can't activate her yet, so we're just going to pass turn to our opponent. All right, so they check, they draw, and they ready up their cards. So the card they drew was Ruthless Lowlife. When a rival steals 1 or more friendly gigs, if this unit's spent, the value of those gigs becomes 1. Ooh, that's pretty good. And kind of funny. Oh, we have to roll. Let's roll this dice here. It's an 8. Pretty good. These gem dice, like, do not roll. They just, like, land. Because they're so heavy. What do you guys think about that? Should players be able to use those cards? I think we'll sell this Sandevistan. That's the only card. There's 2 copies in their hand, too, so I think that's something that's agreeable there. Let's see, what's something strong they can do? Let's just go for bodies. So we're gonna play Swordwise Hustle for 2 or 3, and then we're going to pay for 2 Ruthless Lowlife. I don't think I went over this, but the number on the top left is the cost. That's how much you need to spend to play the card. Okay, so that's that there, and then they'll pass the turn to us. We'll check. We don't have enough. We'll roll a card. We'll roll a dice. We got a 4. That one actually rolled. We will ready our cards, and then we'll draw. So we're kind of running low now on sellable cards, right? So our only sellable card is Floret, and I just realized we were totally playing this wrong. You could only return a spent unit with 4 or less as owner's hand. So you can't even do it until they attack. So, we'll just keep playing. We're learning from our own mistakes. Anyway, so let's see here. So I won't be able to do that until they attack. What I can do is play V and just start smashing in right away. Let's see, 4 and 2. I feel like we have to sell this floor to get some stuff out. Man, I hate playing against myself. Let's see, we can do 4, sell this and reveal a VIP card. Let's just do it. Let's just do it for the lulz. I'm gonna sell that for an Eddie. And I think that we should be good selling cards for Eddies at this point. We'll play a Delamain Cab for 4, and we'll spend 2 to just flip our last VIP card. So that should be Jackie Wells to, oh, sorry, let's do this actually right. So we would reveal Jackie Wells first, because this says the first time you play a blue card or blue gear, you may increase a friendly gig by 2. Then if it's at max value, draw a card. Okay, so let's do that. So we would have done that first and then played Delamain to trigger that ability. So we'll increase a gig by 2. We'll increase the D4 to 4 because it maxes out at 4. And then if it's at max value, draw a card. So I'll draw a card, which is another Delamain. All right, so at that point, we'll pass the turn to our opponent. Our opponent will roll a check. They don't have 6. They'll roll a dice, which is the wrong dice there. I forgot to take that out. That's the Dungeons and Dragons dice. They're only supposed to have these 6 dice. So they'll roll this one next, which is a 6. They'll draw a card, or sorry, they'll ready all their cards. And then they'll draw. Right, so they have a lot of actual units, so I think it's safe to sell this unit for money, and I think they should be good on Eddies also. 6 is a good amount there. They could drop another Atlas, which they should have already had on the field, so they'll pay 4 for that Atlas, and then I think they can pay 2 to reveal one of their VIP cards, which is oh sorry, that is not a VIP card, that is a sell Eddie. They'll reveal one of their VIP cards, which is Saburo. Your Arasaka units have +1 power when attacking. All right, so that's pretty good. All right, so they will go to combat. That can't attack this turn. They can't attack any of my actual units because they are not spent. So they'll just attack me, and you just choose one at a time. They'll attack for 5, which is actually 6. They'll take my highest. They probably want to take my D4 because it's going to score me extra draws. And then they're going to attack me with their Ruthless Lowlife and take my 4. And then that's it. They'll pass turn back to me, and I am losing against myself. They're actually about to win. So we will, and they're about to win, and we actually cheated, kind of. So that's pretty sad. All right, so we'll check. We have 1 dice. We'll roll a new dice here. I'll roll the D6. It's a 3. We'll ready our cards. So we have all our VIP cards out now. And then we will draw. Okay, so we have a blocker. We could chump for some value town here. And we could drop another Delamain Cab. I think we have to get some tempo back. So let's do that. So we'll drop, let's see, that's the D6. Okay, we're kind of far off from hitting max. That's fine. Okay, so we'll pay 2 for our second-hand Bombus. For our chump blocker, we'll pay 4 for a Delamain Cab, and then we'll go to combat and we'll swing for 7. They can't block because they just can't. they have to have blocker keyword. Oh, I forgot about this. So this says when a rival steals one of your friendly gigs, if this is spent, lower the value by two, or the value becomes 1. So that's pretty good. So I'm probably just gonna take the highest card or highest gig when I attack. I'll go to combat. I'll take the 6. Oh, sorry. I'll take the 8, which is the highest card, which turns into a 1 because of his ruthless low life here. And then that's all I can do. I'll pass turn. So they will check. They have 4. They'll roll another dice. The D6 is the least, which is a 6. The wormwood symbol there. So they roll the 6. They'll ready all their cards. Then they'll draw. There's no main phase 2, by the way, so you have to do all your plays before you attack. So they have 6 resources. I think that's a good amount. So I think what is a smart play here is to pay 4. Drop another emergency atlas. And then maybe pay 2. Man, I think this actually is a better play. I actually would just pay the 1 and play Mantis Blades, and I'd stick the Mantis Blades onto the Ruthless Lowlife to give him +2 so that he cannot die to the blocker. And then they still have some stacks here. They have another Emergency Atlas and another Swordwise Hustle. So, yeah. So first they're gonna attack with their Ruthless Lowlife for 3, which is actually 4 because of Sabro. There's like not really a point to block that, so I'll just take it, and they'll take one of my dice. They'll attack me with the Hustle, they'll take another dice, and they'll attack me with the Emergency Atlas, and I'll chump block that, because why not? So they are actually poised to win right now. So we are gonna have to hope, we're on a hope and a prayer right now. Actually, I think it would have been smarter to put the Mantis Blades on the Atlas, because it would have got +2, which is a 9, +1, which is a 10. That would have let the Atlas take another dice. But I think they're pretty much overkilling us at this point. So we readied up. We're gonna roll a new dice. We're at 6. Draw a card. And we got Kuroshi Optics. Look at the friendly face down. That's pretty poopy. So we're just gonna sell that card. That does nothing for us right now. All right, so we have 4 and 3. What could we do? We could drop a Delamain Cab and a T-Bug, but that doesn't do anything for us. I think we have to start getting dice back. We can get 2 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Maybe that might actually this might be the better play. Yeah, we'll spend 4. We'll play another Delamain Cab. We'll spend 3, and we'll play a T-Bug. And then we will smash in. And we will increase the value of this dice by 2 to 8. Oh, we're like totally missing triggers. And we'll draw a card from, oh wait, no. You only draw a card off Jackie Wells if it's at max value. So we have a ways to go. So 8, yeah, we have a ways to go. That's all I'll say about that. Anyway, we'll smash in for 7, and we'll take one of our dice back here. We'll probably take one of these 6s, and then we'll smash in with the other Delamain Cab, and we'll take that 6 there. Okay, and then that is it for our turns. We'll pass. Our opponent will ready their goodies. They will check to see if they have 6. They don't. They are about to win. They'll roll this dice here. It's a 12. And they will draw a card. Oh, and Ruthless Lowlife would have triggered. So these dice I stole would actually have been 1s. So, womp womp. Man, we're getting wrecked by ourselves right now. I think we just keep dropping the stacks. So we pay 4, play another Emergency Atlas. We'll pay 2. We'll play another Ruthless Lowlife. And I think we just get wrecked here. So for 7, I think they just trade. So an Emergency Atlas will attack the rested Delamain Cab. Actually, they don't even trade because all their units have +1 power from the Saburo Arasaka. So yeah, get wrecked is what I'm trying to say. The other Atlas will swing in and kill this guy. And then they'll swing in for 2 that I can't do anything about and take 2 dice back to them. So we are just way behind now. They have 8. So we'll go back to our turn. We'll untap here or ready up. Roll our last dice, the D20, which is an 11. Draw a card. Another Kuroshi Optics that does nothing for me. Well, I guess I could, for a single power, boost someone up. So their +1 is only when attacking. So we could get revenge, but there's no point. We're kind of snowballed out here because we could start eliminating some of their units, but they're just gonna win on their turn. Man. So I think we activate V for 5. I guess I could just sell this. Yeah, there's not even a point to sell that. So we'll activate V for 5. And then I think we pay 1 and just boost her up with a Kuroshi Optics to give her +1 power. And then, man, I think we just get wrecked. We'll swing in for 9. We'll take, it doesn't matter what dice, but we'll take the 12 because it turns into a 1. Because of the low life reduces all the ones I take to 1. Attack again. We'll take the next highest, which is the 8. That turns into a 1. And then we'll attack with T-Bug. And we'll take the 4, which turns into a 1. Okay, so now they're not just going to win on their turn, but we will go to overtime soon. So once you roll the last of your dice, you have 1 more turn to try to win. And after that turn, you go into overtime where the second a player has more than 6 dice, they win. So yeah, our opponent will go. They will ready everything. They'll draw a card and they'll roll their last dice here, which is a 4. Okay, draw a card. So they just drew a Goro Takamura. This unit has +1 power during your turn for each face-up legend in your... Oh, it's not going to do anything right now, but... Ooh, that's pretty good. Man. I think that just wrecks us. So they have like a kill card. But he can only kill something with power 5 or less, which is going to be my T-Bug here. What does that do? I don't think that does. I mean, they'll slow me down, so I think that's the smarter play. So they'll spend 6 resources. They'll play the Armored Minotaur. So they'll just, if you have 12 street cred, sorry, I don't even know if I have enough. So 4, 6, 7, 7 plus 4, 11, 11 plus 4, 15. They have it. So they have 15 street cred. They're going to play the Armored Minotaur, which is also a unit. It's not a program. It'll come into play and just destroy T-Bug. It just shoots her down. Actually, like, that's pretty flavorful there. It'll shoot her down. This is, cannot be played, it cannot attack yet. And then I think they just beat me down. So, V's at 9, so where is it? Atlas is at 8. So no one could actually kill. Yeah, no one could actually kill V, but they can kill this Delamain Cab. So the Emergency Atlas on attack becomes an 8. They'll kill the the Delamain cab. This ruthless dude will attack, take one. This will attack, take one. This will attack, take one. That'll attack, take another one. These two will attack and take the last of my gigs. So we still have one more turn of overtime, but there's literally nothing we can do at this point because they took every single dice on the board. And yes, I just lost to myself. So that was actually pretty funny. Anyway, so that was a game of Cyberpunk TCG. What do I think about it? I think there should be more interaction. I don't like that there's only one kind of main phase, so your play phase where you play cards. I think there should be a play phase 1 and a play phase 2. So there should be, so your play phase 1, you play cards, you go to attack phase, and I think you should be able to play cards again, so like a play phase 2 after you attack, because it kind of sucks playing all your cards and then attacking because your opponent sees that you've already spent all your resources. I think in Magic, it's really good to have a main phase 2 because you can play around your opponent. Like you could have resources open and go to attack, and your opponent doesn't know if you have some kind of combat trick, protective counterspell, or nothing, or just play a creature on your main phase 2. So I think this game could have something like that. I think this game would benefit from that. So yeah, I highly suggest changing the rules to have a main phase 2 or play phase 2, whatever you guys want to call it. Second, I don't like that these programs, where are they? Here. I don't like that these programs they can only be used on your play phase. So maybe you guys have this in development, but maybe something that is instant speed that you could play on your opponent's turn, like maybe call it quick hacks. Like that is in universe. So call it quick hacks, and you could play it at instant speed because it would be pretty cool when your opponent goes into attack, they turn sideways, and then you respond and you play floor it to bounce it back to their hand. Like that would be huge. So either I think you should let programs be played in response, or have a whole nother type of card called quick hacks or whatever you want that lets you play it in response to something, right? What else? I actually like the gigs and street cred. What do you call it? Mechanic. I think that's pretty cool, and I also get to use my cool dice finally, so I like that. But yeah, I like the game so far. I like the back and forth with the gigs. There is one thing, if you play competitive, because this already happens in Magic, like these dice, if regular dice, these are stone, they're not going to move, but regular plastic dice, when people hit a table, these dice will move. Or some people, this happens in a lot of Magic events, when there's a counter on a creature, people will do sleight of hand to move these dice and increase the value. That's happened at a few locals, not even a high level event, just like a local event for like a RCQ. People have been caught doing that, and that's some pretty shady stuff. So you kind of open yourself to do it for that happening, because the street cred, as you can see, actually matters. A lot of cards get buffed, they get extra abilities based on your street cred, and that's an easy thing. So let's see, where's the one? So that's a 2. I could have been like, you know what I mean? Like I could have been like, oh, there's an extra 4 street cred right there. Or I could be like this. Oh, that 7 turned into a 12. That's an extra 5 right there. So that's some things to be aware of. But yeah, I actually like the gameplay so far. Just I want something to have some kind of instant speed for interaction, and I think you should really benefit from a second play phase. So I think those are some things to consider. I know the actual rules seem kind of simple, but this is just the alpha deck. So I think in the final starter decks, which I believe should have 4 to 5 unique cards just for that starter deck, they might be more advanced, and they might have actually added something that's instant speed. But yeah, anyway, that was me getting wrecked by myself. So hopefully that helped you guys. I even cheated against myself and I still lost. So this is actually hilarious. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like and follow if you want to see me get wrecked more. Peace.